What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the show. Thank you so much for tuning in. Sunday, what day is it? 18th of January, on a very pivotal moment here for the crypto markets and for Bitcoin as well. A key close, 3 hours and 6 minutes, could define the rest of the year when it comes to the Bitcoin price. It also could totally define what we're going to see over the next 24 hours. Forget Trump tariffs. This is about price action and institutional buying. And we're going to break down what's going on with all of this tonight. We're going to take a look at why do we keep getting a pump on a Sunday and why do we get a dump on a Sunday? Why do we get a dump on a Monday? I have a theory that I want to walk through with you guys tonight. We'll take a look at the pre-markets. We're going to get into some data. We're also going to be taking a look at some of the news. And I guess we're not going to try and talk about tariffs too much, all right? Because if you're interested in all that stuff, I actually have a full video that I released earlier on that breaks down why, the impact, what to expect this week, all of that stuff, right? So go and check it out. I don't want to talk too much about tariffs tonight because otherwise we just get bogged down in like tariffs are bad, Trump's bad, Bitcoin's not real. It's just boring, all right? We're not doing tariffs tonight, all right? So we're going to get into everything that's way more exciting than tariffs. Not that I think there's a lot, by the way, just FYI. You know, there's not a lot that's better than tariffs, but you get my point. Anyway, all right, so hope you're all doing well. Hope you had a good weekend. Behaves in the building. What's going on, buddy? Welcome in. Absolutely crushing it. 3 a.m. And Tim joining us for 3 months. There he is. Look, bottom of the screen. Oh, yeah. Welcome, Tim. Thank you so much for the support. Appreciate it. 3 months, my man. Welcome in as always. All right. So, yeah, we'll take a look at it. A pivotal moment. Like I said, a very, very important moment for the price of Bitcoin right now. The big question on everyone's mind is, what does this week look like? Are traders positioning themselves for a good week, a bad week, all of that in tonight's show, as well as everything else. All right, so hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if it's your first time here as well. Do consider joining our Discord. It is totally free to get in there. If you want a little bit more, obviously we do offer a paid service, which just gives you a bit more access to me and our bots that's in there. We now have 2 bots in there that can take you through DeFi. They can give you some AI trading. They can bring you the hottest coins right now at the click of a button. It's super easy. It's super simple. And guess what? It's about $6 a month. It's absolutely a steal. So if you're interested in that, do click the join button or grab a subscription here on TikTok as well. All right. Curtis with the 4 months. Let's go, baby. Can you talk about tariffs? Welcome in, Curtis. Thank you for the 4 months, my man. I appreciate it. Man, I feel like a Twitch streamer right now. I appreciate it. All right, everybody, let's get dialed in. Let's take a look at what's going on in this market and let's try and position ourselves for what is coming on them. I was only here for the tariff talk. Get out of here. Tariff bad, Bitcoin good. Hulk smash. You know it is, Shabs. What's going on, buddy? What's going on? Mark Noby is literally just making more and more AI-generated PFPs. I love it. Oh, my. Mark, look at my face, bro. Who the hell is that? It's definitely not me. You need to type in some. You need to take the actual picture, and you need to. I'm coming a bit of a whiz, by the way, on ChatGPT. But anyway, right, TikTok, come over here. You need to see this screen. All right. So let's talk about price action. Let's talk about the pivotal moment we're about to see right now in the next few hours. And here we go. All right. So we were talking about this on Friday. Man, it's a few days since we were talking Greenland's on the menu. For a lot of people, we were talking about this move here, wasn't we? We were saying, hey, well, look, potentially even this kind of play out was sort of what we're looking at. And so far, it has played out perfectly. If you remember, this is pretty much exactly what we drew on this chart. We said, look, potentially, we're going to see this move to the upside, come off the cup and handle, up to the upside, and then retest, and then a potential bounce. The question will be, how do we create this bounce with the tension that we've got right now from a geopolitical standpoint? Well, at the same time, you kind of look at it and go, we got these tariffs, which in fairness are the most insane tariffs. Now, again, I said I wouldn't talk about them much, all right? But they are technically the most insane tariffs that Trump's put on yet because all these countries have done deals, they've all agreed things, and he's basically going, hey, I want freaking Greenland. If you don't give me it, then I'm going to slap some tariffs on you. Like, it's almost insane, okay? So but what we've seen is the markets have kind of gone, whatever, we don't really care about tariffs anymore. So what you can see here, though, which is playing out very interestingly enough, is actually a continuation trend to the upside. So cup and handle pattern, exactly correct, okay? We come to the upper range, we come back down for the retest, and then hopefully we see a bounce to the upside. The key thing is going to be what creates the bounce. Well, for that, we need to start to understand where we are on a smaller time frame to give us a view as to what's going to happen. So you can see this consolidation range. Again, for anyone who's just tuning in, we actually put this orange box on here. I'm going to say like a month ago, maybe like 6 weeks ago, something like that. I can't remember, right? It's a long time ago. And we said this is going to be a critical area of price, price volatility is probably the fairest way to say it. And look, this box has been absolutely perfect. If you're a scalp trader, these are the sort of things you get in the Discord where we give some kind of alerts, we put some price action, we put some key areas. You're scalp trading it. This has been a perfect little area for resistance and for support as well. You can see where we've done momentum trading. What's also important here to note, by the way, is holding here on the 20-day EMA, which is a key area. If you're looking for price bounce, then that is a key thing. We actually put one in for Zebek, which we were watching, not Zebek, Zcash, which we were watching as a potential trade. Again, many of you that are in the Discord will have got access to that as well and had a look at it. Whether you did or not, it's up to you. We're not telling you what to do with your own money, but these are sort of some of the things we do post in there. But interesting enough, we are seeing this break or this consolidation break potentially coming in with Bitcoin. We're going to have to wait and see what the Asian markets does. We'll take a look at the pre-markets a little bit later on. But the important thing to reference here, by the way, is all of the EMAs. So you can see the yellow line here, the 20, the red is the 50, the blue is the 100, and the 200 there at the purple are uptrending. This tells us momentum is still to the upside. Again, although we've seemed to have come back down off this like 97 range, we are still very much in an uptrending momentum, okay? So whether we get this massive dump, and I want to talk a little bit about why I think, all right, I think we might get a dump tomorrow, but I'll talk about why I think that is in just a minute. Shirley says, all right, I'll take a look at it. Shirley, you don't stay around though, and then when I get to the DeFi bit, you're not here, so I always forget. Greenland is negative 55 in the shade. That's absolutely insane. No, thank you. What's going on, Griff? Good to see you, buddy. Welcome in. But yeah, Shirley, stick around and we'll take a look at it, but not in the first part of the show. We want to get a bit more macro stuff going on. What's going on, Vern? Good to see you, buddy. Welcome in as always. Appreciate it. So this consolidation range right now, holding above the 20-day EMA. Now, what's even more interesting is when you go nearer. I remember we talked about this on Friday. When you're trying to understand trends and you're trying to get an idea of what the market's going to do. By the way, I'm not professing that I am the greatest technical analysis individual in the world. However, currently in the last 6 to 8 weeks, we are 100% on our trades. We've nailed every single one of them. Why? We're not FOMOing into trades when we shouldn't be. And equally, we're making sure that we've got complete confirmation before we take some of these trades on. But yet again, you can see here that a general move above the 20-day EMA is a positive agenda, okay? And we can see here, whenever we've dipped below, we've definitely seen capitulation before we come back up. We dip below, we then capitulate, we dip below. So again, it's really, really important. Right now, look, we are above the trend. Now, this is the first signal that I think we could see a little dip in the market tomorrow because actually we are negatively trending. Now, equally, we could get this bounce off here. You can see here, look, a bullish crossover just happened here on the 30-minute on the 20-day EMA. Not advisable, in my opinion, to trade these smaller time frames. As you work your way up, though, you get a feel for whether we are bullish or bearish in the short term, all right? So you can see here, we've broken this trend, but on the hourly candles, we are still bearish. Why? Because the 50 is above the 20-day EMA, but as you can see here, look, we are starting to tick this back to the upside. So if we can continue to push further up, we want to say green. I'd like to see something around 25.3, 25.4. That would give me some confidence. It's up around this sort of range here where these two candle bodies close, all right? Which would be good news. Come to the 4 hour, and actually you're like, okay, we are a little bit more bearish the higher the time frames go along. So remember, short term is short term. We want to be looking at a much higher time frame to understand where our opportunities do sit within this. And then when you go into the dailies and the 12 hours, you start to get into a way more optimistic view of where we sit with this. So for me, Bitcoin right now, I definitely think could be in a place where we could get a break, but I do think we will get a dump. And I'll tell you about a little bit more as to why I think that is. Looking at a couple of other coins, ETH looks very strong right now. I'm really optimistic about what's coming with Ethereum. If the market holds up, the bull market sticks with us, I think Ethereum's going to shock a lot of people. And I think people are going to regret not being exposed to Ethereum. We looked at this on Friday. The number of people trying to remove Ethereum from the staking pool is 0. In fact, there's 2.5 million Ethereum queuing to stake with Ethereum. People are going very long-term here on ETH, which is great news to see. And like I said, I think loads of people will miss the potential move. Yeah, ICP, I'll get to it in a minute. Don't worry about it. So I think ETH definitely want to keep your eyes out for. XRP and all the rest of it are just kind of chilling, not really doing much going on with some of those. Zebek having a nice little run. Again, feels like that's continuing to the upside. If you ask me to look at ICP one more time in the chart, I'm not going to do it. All right, you've now put it 4 times. 5 times. I'm not looking at it. I'm not looking at it. All right, 5 times you put a message in the chat. 5 times. Come on, bro. Like, what the hell? 5 times. Like, give me a minute. Right, anyway, Monad having a nice little run, by the way. We talked about Monad, if you remember, last week. Definitely starting to see a potential reversal. I still want to see a little bit of confirmation here on a couple of these coins, but look, definitely could be a reversal coming up. Not one for now, but certainly one to stick in the agenda for later on. Okay. So what else we've got here? We've got ICP, and I could look at ICP if I really felt like it, but I'm not going to because you tapped it 5 times in the chat. And it's like, bro, come on, give me a minute. All right, fine. Look at ICP. ICP is on a nice little run. I think this is a downward trend though, so shut up, Alvin. Alvin, get out of here. I would be very mindful of ICP short term, by the way. Holds up, but got rejected as a potential breakout furthermore. So watch out. ICP may come down a little bit further. Also, short term, it's holding the 618 Fibonacci at $4.14. If you get a break above that, you might be heading for a 424 or 442. So watch out for ICP. I do think it's slightly bearish. Yes, it's had a decent move. But I'll talk about Monero in a minute, and these are some of the things you got to watch out for. But keep your eyes on it. Maybe it gets a break. It doesn't feel like it at the minute, but hey, what the hell do I know? But keep your eyes on ICP. Again, I think you'll see a little bit more sell pressure is my view. But if it holds to the 0.5 fib at 391, then, you know, maybe you've got a chance for this to kind of push a little bit further. Maybe. Volume is super weak, though. And again, you can see here, look, this is like FOMO volume coming in ICP, so keep your eyes on it. Okay, so one of the ones we're looking at as a potential trade would be here on Zebek. God, why do I keep saying Zebek? Zcash has broke the 200 EMA, so I would be mindful. I'd wait and see where this goes to. My view could be 371 as a potential. If you caught the trade, we traded the 400 line off here. We got a nice wick up. The stop was literally bang on the 50-day exponential moving average. If I bring it up here, trade signals, and we put it, TikTok can see it was here, look. So, yeah, TP1, 50-day EMAs. Look at this. Potential move on Zcash. Hot narrative breakout on the 20-day EMA. Could see a move higher. Right stop loss in this, but looking for entry around 395 to 400 with TP1 at 50-day EMA. Watch for the breakout. And that's pretty much exactly what happened. This was on... This was earlier on. Breakout to the 50-day EMA from the 20. Perfect little trade. Nothing super crazy on the back of that. So, good news. Now, Monero. We talked about this as a potential short opportunity, if you remember, on Friday. Monero, interestingly enough, had loads of problems. This pump was a manufactured pump, which is super interesting. I don't know if you guys have caught this. But watch out on Monero. This was a super, super, super crazy foundation that ended up doing something wrong that just kept pumping loads of Monero. The liquidity got really, really short on this, which is why it absolutely pumped. So we've come back down, retested. You better believe it. The 20-day EMA once again. Potential bounce. If the market dumps, watch out for us, which is why I think the market's super weird tonight. But yeah, 20-day EMA, I think, just my personal opinion, I think we could see Monero come down a little bit if the markets sell off, and we'll take a look at why I think that's going to be a little bit later on. All right, so stick around for that. But yeah, that's kind of where we sit. I'm not going to go into too much else. The other thing to worth noting, by the way, silver. Interesting enough here, big correction down to 86. Stick that number in your pipes, because 86 feels like a very important line for us. Break below 86, you might see a complete dump on silver. Now, there's a couple of interesting things. This whole tariff situation is actually making the silver that should have been going, I think it's from something like Memecoins Exchange, which is going to be shipping loads of silver from the US into Europe and particularly London. That's now not going to happen. Potentially a 10% tariff or trade routes being withheld. So silver might either absolutely go parabolic. And I know people will be like, well, you can't really sit there and go, well, silver might go to the moon or it might dump. But this restrictiveness on supply may either absolutely skyrocket silver again. People are talking about 150, 160, 170. Or because of what it is, we might actually see this capitulation come down. Break below 86.98. I think we could be pretty bullish on that. And I wouldn't be doing anyone a favor if I didn't do one little thing, okay? And it feels like it's been a long time since I've done this, and a long time since I feel like we've been able to do this. And I want this individual, it's about, I want this person to enjoy this moment. And if they feel like, giving a bit of shit to everybody, then fine. You absolutely crack on, because my opinion is you have earned it. All right. So that's just my opinion. So if you are interested, by the way, Sand had a nice little pump here from 12 cents, baby. Did actually pump up to $15. No, $15. I wish 15 cents. So, if you were bullish on Sand, for example, you could basically look people in the eye and be as smug as you want, because Sand had a nice little move over the last 24 hours. Don't ask me why. Maybe the narrative of AI is coming back. Maybe the meta narrative is coming back. I don't know, but it's gone absolutely wild. So shout out to anybody who is owning Sand, because you got it crushed. All right. Just a dead quick one for futures for the stock market. Just give you a bit of a flavor, by the way. Again, Bitcoin futures look like they might open a little bit more optimistic. If anyone's interested, by the way, we can see here the CME gap is actually lower than we've been. So CME gap's around 94,405. So we might see a little dump Perino, close the CME gap down here, and then we may see the push back to the upside, depending on what the US decides to do. That, oh my God, that was really close. I'm sorry, TikTok. I'm so sorry. That was really close to my face then. I'm sorry, everybody. I apologize. All right, I apologize. Casey, what's going on? Damien says, have you invested in silver? It would definitely dump. That's like me as well. That's like me as well. What's going on, DG? Sorry, mate. I didn't have my other phone so I could see what's going on. But yeah, shout out to you. Welcome in. Yeah, if anyone's in the chat, by the way, asking you to DM them, just don't. They're probably trying to take all your crypto. River been doing well. Never heard of it before. Friday. Nice. Yeah, there's a couple of coins actually done pretty well. So, yeah, shout out to you, Damien. Thanks so much. ICP, we looked at it. Toddster, are you the same person that was in my YouTube live? But welcome in, everybody. Shout out to all the TikTok fam coming in as well. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you guys. All right. Seriously, too many clones, too much dilution. Forget about 5x pumps. Well, I mean, people have said that before, by the way. I'm not going to tempt fate. I'm just happy to make a good decision. That's it. Take a look at Pax, mascot character of Pudgy Penguins. Nice. Yeah, remind me of the DeFi section, which is about 25 minutes away, and then we'll take a look at it. All right, so that just gives us a bit of a flavor as to where the markets are. So let's get into what could be happening. Look at this. Sell me the pen. Jim Cramer is bearish on the pen. Jim Cramer's bearish on Monday opens. Could be bullish. I mean, we'll see. We'll see. But what's the markets telling us right now? Markets are actually favoring a upside move, which is why I think that we're not going to get that. And we'll take a look at the pre-market, and then we'll probably double back on it. But these are the G10 tickers, which are showing potential upside moves. All right, they're showing potential upside moves. Pre-markets, just to give you a quick flavor, don't look particularly wonderful. A little bit in the FTSE, but the Nasdaq futures are down by about 7 points. Nothing super crazy here. Obviously, this is what we're interested in. The Nikkei and the Hang Seng both looking like they're going to open negative. Doesn't necessarily mean we're going to see a massive sell-off in the market. However, it is worth noting right now that it's, in theory, Asian markets look like they're potentially going to sell off, just a little bit when those markets open. We'll double back on this in a little bit because it's, it's not as solid as maybe we'd like to see right now. But anyway, keep your eyes peeled on it, all right? That's going to be worthwhile. Okay, so what else have we got to worry about? Well, freaking aliens are coming. Oh my God, banks plan for a crisis sparked by alien invasion. I have no idea where this has come from, by the way. No idea. But what I do know is that you don't have to worry about the banks if you're investing in Bitcoin, all right? That's my opinion anyway. So I honestly don't know where this has come from, but a former analyst at the central bank is calling for strategy to prevent a financial collapse if aliens turn up. I mean, come on. This is the only channel that matters. Thank you, mate. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. And you've just come... We're talking about, it's closed tomorrow. No wonder the Asian isn't, though, is it? The Asian markets aren't. So that's the thing. Aliens are invading Davos. Yeah, so the US markets are closed, but Asia's open, the FTSE's open. So, yeah, I mean, I guess we don't see much in the afternoon tomorrow then. We'll have to kind of wait and see. BTC might push up soon. It usually does. Well, we'll talk about why BTC might be rallying here on a Sunday evening. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is because of this. All right. So MicroStrategy, Saylor hinting at Bitcoin acquisition surpassing 1.25 billion. He's actually said they might even buy more than last week. All right. That's pretty freaking crazy. But this plays into my theory that actually the Sunday night pumps are the Saylor moves. All right. So these are, in my opinion, Saylor buying back. Now, he did apparently put a tracker on his website, but I haven't looked at it. So let's bring that up because it'd be good to have a look at it. But yeah, I think this is Saylor buying. Now, I am tracking the BlackRock wallets. I was just curious if anything was going on the BlackRock wallets, but nothing as of stands. But yeah, apparently he's put some sort of Bitcoin tracker on this or something. I don't know where it is, but yeah. So again, you can see here, look, this is kind of where we are in terms of some of the holdings that he's got. But allegedly, Saylor going big tomorrow and buying even more than his previous week at $1.25 billion purchase. So I think this could be a pretty big purchase, but I do think people will sell on the back of it. This is my second reason why I think potentially markets sell off a little bit tomorrow. So the planned aggressive purchase could potentially push the Bitcoin-focused company towards over 700,000 Bitcoin. Like, are you winding me up right now? That could be pretty crazy if you think that. Does that mean that the US stock market is closed? We then have Wednesday stock market opens and we get the FOMC, or is that next week? No, FOMC's it's like 8 days away. I think it's a week on I think FOMC is a week on Wednesday. I think like 27th or something. Is it? I think it's like the 27th or something like that. 28th. I was close. So yeah, it's a week on Wednesday, the FOMC. So, but yeah, I mean, this will be a pretty big buy. Now, we do actually have Sailor's wallet as well, but I don't think they put them into that wallet though. I don't think it goes through that. So it's not like we can track it. Just try and make what have I missed? Are we bullish? I mean, we're not super bearish, but I do think we might see a little bit of selling pressure tomorrow morning. We'll have to kind of wait and see, really. But yeah, so this is like 2 weeks ago. You see some big acquisitions here, but I don't know where it comes in from or what the kind of purchase is. Or, you know, like I assume it comes from maybe Coinbase Prime or something. I'm not really sure, but it's difficult to track it with Sailor's wallets. Otherwise, we kind of see where it is. But yeah, all these are just the same wallet. So we'll see. But I think it could spike the market a little bit. And I think we'll see selling pressure into that, which will be a bit of a disappointment. But hey, we will certainly see what that plays out like. But yeah, interesting here on this acquisition. 3-month return, -42. Stock price, 173. I mean, if this keeps going down, this might even be an opportunity to get in as a stock. I mean, I don't own any stocks, by the way, and I don't know what the yield returns are on them, but 0.1 is a bit naff, isn't it? Yeah, 0.1's a bit naff, really, in fairness. But hey, does that... Oh, we said that, didn't we? Okay, so that's where Sailor is right now, so we'll keep an eye on that one for sure. Okay, let's get into a little bit more specifics, a little bit more of the charts. Vicky, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Welcome in. So lots of people are discussing what could happen next. I mean, there's two camps in there. You're either Marmite and you think it's going to the moon, or it's Marmite and we're not. And I guess someone's got to be right and someone's got to be wrong. BlackRock and Coinbase are one in the same, pretty much. I mean, it feels like it, Selmo. You're probably right, in fairness. So, are you bearish on Bitcoin? You may want to reconsider. The bottom is probably very close. BTC's 2022 crash has nothing in common with the current fundamentals. And we've talked about this a while, actually. Fundamentals are the big narrative right now. Has anything changed? No. Do people still want to get in it? Yeah. Xenomorphs and facehuggers? Maybe. So what is this telling us here? Well, these are all the corrections that we've had, followed by the big then moves. And you can see here that whenever we get a solid correction of well over 30%, which we've seen right now, we generally get a pushback to the upside. As I've always said, for me, this close tonight is important. 95,500 is probably what I would look for a close on BTC on the weekly candles. For me, that signals some optimism going into this week, all right? It doesn't necessarily mean we're going to pump to oblivion. Doesn't mean we can't come back, but it would signal to me that we've got a nice bounce off this range here, right? Nice bounce off what we've been talking about, and that certainly could give us some momentum going in. This is playing out the same as well. You can see MACD is starting to trend back to the upside, RSI coming back to neutral as well. Both reasons why we could see markets push. If you look historically, we've definitely seen that as well, where we see MACD start to trend back to the upside, followed by a big rally up to the upside as well. Likewise on RSI as well. So both of these two things are starting to tick in the right direction. All right, so this might give us some very good optimism going in. Now, one thing to note here, by the way, and I always am a bit skeptical a little bit with some of these charts because I think you have to be, but whales allegedly are buying massive amounts of Bitcoin, allegedly. And I say that because this is only a yearly chart. In fact, we can have a look at this actually. Let's bring up this and see if we can track what's going on. Obviously, TikTok, I know you guys can't see it. I was messing around with it trying to get it sorted today, but it was still more difficult. But I've got a holiday coming up in like 3 weeks, 4 weeks, and I'm by myself just here. So I'm going to get all things. I'm probably going to redo this room. We're going to probably get a new computer as well. It's going to be epic. All right. So let me see if I can just see some movement on exchange flows. Let's see about Bitcoin inflows. Okay, here we go. Perfect. This is exactly what I want to see. Right. So we've got here Bitcoin exchange inflows. So the amount of Bitcoin going into exchanges right now is obviously pretty pants of the weekend, but very much low. Now, does this tell us that people are going to dump the market tomorrow? And I know what people are thinking. God, you've told me you're going to sell off tomorrow, and now you're telling me we're not. We're going to try and analyze all the angles. We're going to try and make the best play. Hey, 2-Bit. B-Jam in the house. Can we look at XCM, please? 18 cents. Yes, give me 2 minutes, and I'll definitely take a look at it, bro. Thank you so much for the 5 as well. I appreciate that, buddy. I hope you're doing well. New computer, eh? Alvin, I need parts, though. I need a really... I did look at some Dell ones, but I need like parts that are like specific for rendering video and yeah. I mean, I can send you a list of stuff I'm looking at, but I mean, it's not a cheap PC at all. By the way, when I say that, it's like $3,000 or something like that. But it's gonna be worth it when we're going to the moon. Anyway, so again, look at this. Bitcoin exchange inflows are definitely pretty quiet. In fact, if you look at previous weekends, so that would take us back here. If we look at the weekend, so we've got the 3rd and 4th and the 10th and the 11th. Look at the 3rd and the 4th. Super quiet. Well, what happened after the 3rd and 4th here on the Bitcoin price? Then we got, where did we go? 3rd and 4th. Here, look. We got some nice moves to the upside. So 3rd and 4th, we're rallying to the upside. Let's go forward. And where does that take us to? That takes us to, if I can find which window was open. Oh my God, where's that window gone? 2-bit? Here we go. The 10th and 11th, both here, were slightly higher in terms of our moves. And what did we get there? We actually got some selling pressure coming in. That's kind of interesting, isn't it? So the 10th and 11th, we actually got a little bit of selling, a bit of buying in. So right now, if you were, super like being basic as ever, we're actually seeing the least amount of inflows into exchanges that we've seen for over the last month. I mean, look at those levels. They are super low. If we were to take the yearly candles, the only time we saw this level was back in November. November the 24th, we saw similar kind of levels of exchanges. Well, what did that do in terms of price? November 24th was a nice big old fat green candle as we started winding back up. So that could be an argument for slightly more moving. But instead of, if you forgot about treble not trending anymore, I mean, I've still got treble locked to it. I'm just earning rewards on it. Don't forget, DeFi is super quiet. Everyone's jumped onto Hyperliquid. We'll take a look at those in a minute. I was only talking about treble actually earlier on to somebody. But yeah, I mean, I've still got my treble locked away. Still earning me a little bit of USDC every now and then. I can order anything you send. What? Oh, you send. All right. Well, I'll even if it's not Dell. Anyway, I'll message you. I'll message you. Okay. So this could be interesting, and it definitely could play out way more favorably over the course of the next sort of, couple of days. Maybe we get a push to the upside. And the contrary to that, by the way, we are seeing massive lack of USDC and USDT going in, which could be seen as a slight negative in that people are not positioning themselves to buy any crypto. So we might just see a flat week. Maybe everyone's just like, oh, who cares? Not bothered. I don't want to buy any Bitcoin. I'm not, I couldn't give a monkeys. So, interesting. So I don't know how true this chart is. Yes, you could argue that we are definitely seeing a newer purchasing in Wales. I mean, I'm not seeing anything in terms of some of the wallets we track, which, I mean, we don't track a lot of big wallets. Maybe we should actually. Maybe we should start to find some of the bigger wallets out there. But, BlackRock was definitely the one that I was curious about and that I was interested in kind of how they were playing out. So, yeah, worthwhile noting here, by the way. Why do we have flow traders on there? Oh, they must be an LP provider. Okay. This kind of plays out a pretty interesting story as well. This is kind of giving us a bit of a summer view. So long-term holder, you can see here, look, the darker the color, the older the wallets are. So again, what you want to see a little bit here is this starting to grow, or equally, these. So these are, newer buys coming in, and you want to see this kind of staying relatively solid as well. Because that tells us the long-term holders are still holding, and actually people that are getting into the market are starting to hold as well. That's how you start to push price way higher, is that people don't dump it, right? I'd take a flat week. Yeah, me too, Daniel. Me too. I mean, we've got some pretty interesting stuff this week. Don't forget on the calendar, you've got PCE data coming out, which could be interesting. And then the big one, Thursday might be interesting. Well, we've got ADP jobs data coming Tuesday, so that's going to be interesting to see what that looks like. That'll give us an idea of maybe where the Federal Reserve might go. But Thursday is a big deal. GDP growth with quarter over quarter, with expectations, by the way, of another 0.5 revised up on GDP, which would be absolutely freaking insane. And then we follow that with PCE, personal income, and personal spending, both all coming on there. So a pretty interesting week, actually. But that ADP jobs data is going to be pretty wild on Tuesday. So let's take a look. Previous, by the way, 11.75 thousand. So anything above that would be good news. Treble looks like a rug, dude. Why cover it? I'm not covering it. I covered it at launch, and I'll tell you this, it definitely wasn't a rug at launch. Not at all. So I don't cover it. All I was saying is that I still have some treble locked away. So, but yeah, I mean, how old is it now? It must be like 9 months or something at home. But yeah, I think Sanders is about to push again as well. The 1 hour and the 4 hour. The RSI is about to cross over to the upside. Nice, Craig. I like it. Bullish on that. All right, good. Let's take a look at what's going on with Hyperliquid. So you might have seen loads of people talking about these insane traders that have got massive long positions open. And actually right now, it's fair to say that they absolutely are. All right. All right. Okay, Larry. Sorry, mate. Sorry. Thanks, bud. It's just like, bro, don't hate me. Shout out to you, Larry, legend. But yeah, look at this. Lots of people are now in favor of short positions. Again, this is kind of interesting. 51.07% of hyperliquid traders are short on the market, which is interesting. But when you've got margin, there's way more margin that's upside. So again, you've got quite a heavy position base, but margin, everyone's long. Everyone believes this market's got a little bit more to give as well. So interesting. Shorts are printing right now, which we all know can sometimes just turn around and bite people in the backside. Some of the bigger wallets here, look, long position, substantial amount there with a unrealized profit at P&L of 39 million and is still long with over $745 million as a long position. So these aren't messing around, all right? Per position at just under $1 billion. I mean, that is absolutely insane. What do you think about Sui and Ondo? I like Ondo and I like Sui as well. I think both of them are going to be good. Again, Ondo is one tweet away, one partnership away from, in my opinion, going absolutely ballistic. They get the treasury markets and the, tokenizing the equity markets. I was only talking to someone about this the other day. Like when you understand tokenization and what that could actually mean, then it starts to get pretty crazy in the broader sense of it, if you think about it. So yeah, could be wild if you ask me, but worth definitely thinking about, my opinion. But yeah, I like it. And Sui, I just think will be great in terms of a high speed, super easy to use blockchain. I still think it's a little bit complicated to get onto it if you're like super new to the crypto market. But yeah, I still think it's got a good opportunity. So, look, if we look at hyperliquid whales, they are certainly favoring an upside move this week in the market. So for me, it's definitely going to depend on where we close. Definitely going to depend on all the things we've been talking about. And is it going to depend on Trump tariffs? Probably not, if I'm honest. Does it depend on Greenland being an acquisition? I don't think so. For me, it's about where you think we are in the market and whether this market's got any more to give. And I think at the minute it does, all right? That's just my opinion, all right? But we'll see. But certainly hyperliquid whales are feeling very optimistic about where this market's going to go. So keep your eyes peeled on that. All right, a couple of bits of news for you. We got some interesting stuff going on here, which is this. Look, Bitcoin is lagging while metal soar, but the rare divergence preceded every major crypto breakout since 2019. It's all the debate on the gold and silver and gold and copper that have moved higher as the Federal Reserve continues to signal patience on rate cuts. Now, what's super interesting about this? Long-term bullish on Ondo. Yeah, definitely. Someone did 4chan is calling for it to $67. What, Ondo? Wow. Juice's big question is how close might we be to the big announcement that sends on? Well, I mean, they've had a lot recently go on there and they've tokenized a load. In fairness, you actually need like US treasuries on there. Tokenized US treasuries that's supported by someone like Larry Fink or something like that would be insane. Now, I was talking about something. We might get something. I mean, we're not going to get something out of Davos about Ondo, but certainly you'd hope something's coming pretty soon. Bitcoin BJam, I totally forgot to look at XCN. Let's just quickly look at XCN and then we'll come back down. XCN, what are you thinking at price point? 18 cents. 18 cents from where it currently is right now would be pretty insane. I mean, you're talking an 2,185% increase, which would be a brand new all-time high in a market that at the minute could give up the go at any moment in time. So, I mean, could it? Yes. Is it likely? No, not in the short term anyway. Maybe not even this year. But yeah, I don't know too much about XCN, if I'm dead honest. Is that the trade coin? I know it's ISO, isn't it? But Pepe on Sol. All right, nice. So, I mean, 18 cents for me, I mean, it's had a nice move, don't get me wrong, but again, look at the momentum. We talked about this with, we were talking about this with Sand and with Monero as well. This is coming back down off this pump, so you've not got sustained pump. Think of something like Monero or even Zcash, by the way, that just went absolutely parabolic. So, longer term, yeah, maybe. Is it a multi-cycle coin? Potentially. It's probably where you need to get to, but yeah. So look at this. The gold and silver and the gold and copper setup. Financial markets typically reprice conditions based on policymakers acknowledge a term, usually when the cost of capital begins to shift at the margin, all right? It's ISO and has Goliath upgrade coming. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. If it's a multi-cycle coin, then potentially, yeah. which could be wild. Apparently it's a 4chan thing, Curtis. But yeah, gold's behavior across multiple cycles illustrates this clearly. Data from LBMA price analysis that World Gold Council show that gold often begins rising months before the first rate cut as investors respond to peaking rate yields and rather than cut itself. So I still think we're in a world where once commodities start to potentially roll over, start to just kind of, hit the top, then, we may definitely get a bit of a move. And I think this whole tariff situation with some of this COMEX silver not being able to get to the UK or Europe could be pretty interesting as well. But yeah, the combination carries an outsized influence on markets because it reduces the risk of false signals. So, people necessarily go into gold in uncertain times. And that's kind of what we've been seeing. Equally, though, gold is absolutely FOMO skyrocketing right now. But, keep an eye on it. I feel like it's close. I feel like it definitely could be in a world where we could see gold start to come down. And remember, whenever we see these big sell-offs on gold, you generally get a move in the Bitcoin price, which is good. Sorry to leave for a second. I don't know if you answer it. Do you think we will get a big dump? I think there are some definite signals that we may get something. The only one that may be interesting is the fact the US markets are closed. Now, that could be a bad news story because then we aren't going to get any sort of institutional info. But I don't necessarily think we're going to get the biggest trade war in the world. I don't necessarily think we are. Yeah, we'll have to kind of wait and see, in my opinion. But I'm not sure we'll get the craziest dump. But the Sunday pump from Saylor is on right now. He's definitely trying to pump the market. I mean, he could come in and buy fucking $2 billion worth of Bitcoin, which would be pretty crazy to think about. But anyway, Bitcoin is following a discrete lag pattern behind gold, which puts the price at 130 target immediately in play. Maybe. All right. Maybe. You can see there, gold versus the real 10-year treasury yield. So again, what we see there is, generally speaking, you get a move to the upside on the treasury yields, and gold obviously sticking where it is in terms of price. So, we'll see. I mean, people may go into treasury yields. People talked about the massive, concern with the Japanese yen and the carry trade didn't happen. That's kind of, the carry trade is just not a thing anymore, I don't think so. Worth noting, by the way. And then look, a couple of key things just to keep your eyes out for this week. Why? Because we want to bring it to you fresh. Let's go on WF Capital. Zebek, please. We'll take a look at that in a minute. Is this going to load? It's kind of annoying if it doesn't. There we go. So, critical week, numerous economic developments and altcoins scheduled. So, I thought it was just worthwhile running through what is here this week. The Bitcoin boss, welcome in. Looks like a fellow Brit as well. Shout out to you. So, look, what you've got here. Look, markets closed Monday, the January the 19th. You've got an update coming to Mantracoin, if anyone cares about that. I don't even think that's a thing. ETH gas fees with the governance token of GWAI to provide real-time Ethereum and transaction fee experience. All right, no one really cares. And then Euro consensus price index. So we get the CPI data for Europe. All right. Yeah, I agree, Daniel. Thank you for the rose, Bitcoin boss. Appreciate it. The carry trade is just not a thing anymore. I don't think anyone cares. Wednesday is obviously the big day. We got apparently Trump's making a statement. You got GDP. So if Trump's making a statement, all right, here we go. Right, we're going to call this. We're going to call this right now. If Trump's making a statement at that time when GDP comes out and job losses, I guarantee GDP is good. I guarantee it's good. Has to be. He's not going to come out and give a speech on the back of a really bad GDP. I'm going to call it now, right? GDP, jobs are going to be bullish. And consumer, the PCE numbers, I bet you they're good as well. Or they're flat. That's my predictions, all right? That's my predictions. PCE is expected at 2.7. So that would be a decline in personal consumption expenditure. That would be pretty good. And then personal consumption monthly expected at 0.2. So if Trump's speaking on Wednesday and all of that's happening, it's going to be good news. May pump markets. I mean, we could even see, if you wanted to go like super bullish on this, you could argue and say, well, ADP jobs data comes in good. Let's say 18,000 or 20,000 jobs added back in. That would be pretty interesting. PCE drops 2.7, maybe even 2.6. Month over month sits flat. You get GDP revised, expected 4.3. Let's say you get 4.5 versus a previous at 3.8. Like, Trump's going to be like, boom, the economy's going crazy. The S&P will rally, the NASDAQ goes crazy, and Bitcoin breaks $100,000. Who knows? I mean, it could happen. Thursday, European Central Bank will release its minutes. Don't think I really care about that. And then, essentially, Friday, January 23rd, a approval for the first Tron Spot ETF. And then we get interest rates for Japan as well, which no one's talking about because no one cares. All right. So pretty interesting week ahead, I think. Pretty interesting week ahead. Maybe it's going to be bullish. Maybe it's going to be bearish. Let's see. For me, the weekly candle close is what we are about. We want to see that close. It will close as a very good candle here on the weekly. So actually this momentum is starting to push back to the upside daily. We want to see it close out green. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see. All right, good. That is giving you an update on the markets, everybody. So if you haven't already, hit the like and subscribe button. If you're brand new here as well, don't forget, jump in our Discord. It's totally free. If you want a little bit more access, grab yourself a channel membership. You've got access to our bots, our trade alerts. You've equally got all sorts of good stuff that's in there as well. So DeFi, trending coins, meme coin players, you better believe it. It's all in there, and it's literally $6 a month. You're kidding me right now. It's like $1.70 for a week. Oh, that's my opinion anyway. And don't forget, if you're brand new to trading this market as well, if you haven't already taken full advantage of my latest deal, that's probably not the right word, my latest collaboration working with Bitunix, check out that one as well. We've got some insane offers for you guys. Not financial advice, but you're going to get 50% rebates on your deposits. Check them out. Link in the description. Also, don't forget, we've got a newbie bootcamp. If you complete that, you get $500. What? Running all the way at January 31st. Join 355 people that are trading over there on Bitunix with my affiliate link. It doesn't cost you anything. Definitely worth signing up. All right, check them out for sure. And if you are bullish enough, then you are bullish enough. I'm going to type it. There you go. It's in the chat. All right, good. Man, Bitcoin is having a nice little rally. I tell you what we haven't got open that we normally do have open. Let's bring the order book. It's good to have the order book open, I think. BTC to the moon. Let's get it. Yeah, silver and gold to crash. I don't own a single bit of gold or silver. Not a single bit. All right, there we go. We've got the order book up as well. I urgently need $500. This is the wrong place to come then, in my opinion. Bullish for the last 3 years. I'm so nearly done with crypto. TJ, I know the feeling. I've been bullish since 2017. Someone told me I was going to make it as a millionaire. Turns out it's not true. But I've got some good friends on the way. So, what's another year? That's my opinion. We'll still be here in 10 years' time. Welcome to the stream, everybody. We're still bearing. Can you imagine? Oh, no. Anyway, right, let's see what happens. Bitcoin is trying to have a little push right now. Futures contracts coming in. Some decent buys, actually, on the futures markets. Tim says, live bullish, bro. Yeah, 100%. 100%. Pat Sonic says, I'm personally mostly long, waiting to see Asian market opens. Yeah, well, we'll take another look at the pre-markets a little bit later on. Because they were a bit, the pre-markets are a bit, well, the Asian pre-markets, actually. Asia. I need to learn how to, can anyone do the typey bit where you just type on there? I need to be able to do it without looking at the keyboard, and I can't. There we go. Short on Pax G. I don't even know what that is. Should I know what that is? I feel like maybe I should know what that is. Here we go. Asia Pacific stock. Let's take a look at this. I couldn't use Bitunix. They wouldn't accept my card details or let me make any deposits. They tell me their service unavailable in my area. It almost felt like I was using MXC. Oh, really? It's no KYC and available all over the world. You should have no problems with Bitunix whatsoever. Okay. All right. Yeah. Cool. All right. We'll double back down on some of the headlines coming in. Man, BlackRock's Rick Ryder bid for Fed share is gaining traction. Really? That surprised me a little bit. Yeah. So definitely we're seeing the Hang Sheng and the Nikkei sell off a little bit. So anyway, we'll come back to that in a minute. 94K either should hold, in my opinion. I mean, 95.3. I would like 95.5, right? I definitely would like 95.5. That would get me to a more bullish place, but we'll see. Pat Sonic says, I think BT taps 96K tonight. Yeah, they are Robert Dover. Yeah, we just looked at that as well. I'm fine with it. I've been using it for now anyway. All right, cool. All right, well, let's give that. So let me close this down, this down, this down, this down, and this down. All right, don't need any of that stuff open right now. What's the discussion today? Is the price action page or education on the technology and utility? I mean, it's everything. It's whatever you want it to be. We've talked price action. We've talked about potential for this week. We've dived in a little bit in terms of what's going on at a macroeconomic level. What we haven't talked about is tariffs, though. We're not discussing tariffs. It's not a show for tariffs this evening. If you want to know all about my thoughts on the tariffs and equally what is coming, then go check the video out that I released earlier on that talks about why they are there, the impact that they may have, and ultimately what to keep your eyes out for. So if you are interested in all that kind of stuff, then definitely go check that out. Also, don't forget, we put content out every single day, dialing in you guys to the market. So if you enjoy that kind of stuff, check out my YouTube channel. Also, you'll see some content coming out here on TikTok as well. Finally worked out how to do some 9x16 thumbnails as well, so a little bit more bullish. It's now Monday, 6:37 a.m. in Japan. Is it? Wow. That is wild. Well, the Hang Seng's not open yet, and neither is the Nikkei. So fair enough. Fair enough. All right. Oh yeah, you wanted me to look at that, didn't you? What is it? WPLS is breaking out. All right, let me have a look. Let me have a look. Boom, 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 boom. Right. Oh yeah, maybe that says yeah. So the Japanese stock market regular trading hours is Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. to 3. That's 12 a.m. to 6 a.m. Yeah, so it can't be. It can't be. What time? What time it opens at 12 a.m. Yeah, I thought so. What time is it in Japan right now? Oh, 6:39. What time did you say it was? Oh yeah. Sorry, Monday at 6:37. Okay, yeah, fine. So I don't know. I don't know why I read that as 9 o'clock. I'm literally just having an absolute meltdown right now. No hype says Bitcoin has 0 use cases. I mean, it's got use cases, it's just not very good. I think it's fair to say, because you could argue it's a way of transferring capital around, but it's not cheap, is it? It's not cheap. Okay, well, we were going to look at something else then, and I can't think what it was. Jean-Luc, what's going on, buddy? Bitcoin Cash 1,000 times better than Bitcoin, just my opinion. Yeah, look, it's cheaper, it's quicker. It just doesn't have the adoption that Bitcoin does. All the credibility is not the right word, but yeah. It's a bit like platinum is better than gold, but gold still holds the value, isn't it? That's the difference. But yeah, look, I actually think Bitcoin Cash is not bad at all. Obviously, the Roger Ver fork to a degree. Like I said, it's cheaper, it's faster. I think they actually even had more upgrades and build-outs to it. Like, is Bitcoin Cash? No, it's shard. It's still BCH. Yeah, there was loads of like I was just checking. Yeah, so Bitcoin Cash with loads of DeFi stuff on there as well. So I mean, technically, yeah, it's probably better actually. Every time I comment on crypto stream, I get about 6 new followers. Well, if any of them are me, by the way, it's not. It's just some weird scammer that's probably trying to take all your cryptocurrency out there. So yeah, be careful. I mean, even if I go into like other people's, I went into Crypto Wendio's live, and then literally like some random account is like, oh, what do you think of my live stream? You're like, this is clearly not you. Like, it's clearly not you. Anyway, copper is more useful. True. BC has a cash cushion. It's a privacy coin. I said I double my money buying it at 270 in April. Now I usually just short it. There you go. Bullish. Bullish. I mean, that's kind of the idea of Monero, isn't it? I mean, Monero is an interesting OG privacy coin, but doesn't really have much where it could go. If privacy just doesn't become a thing and actually governments decide they want to do it, then yeah. I went to my Trust Wallet last night and I still own Catcoin and Baby Shiba Inu. We can double check them. Let me tell you, they're going to be terrible, Craig. Terrible. All right. Okay, let's keep an eye on this. Order books we're keeping nice. Some nice little contracts coming in. Equally, some pretty heavy sell-offs right now, but I don't think there's a lot of spot buys coming in on BTC. But we'll keep an eye on it. Again, look at that liquidity. We were sort of feels the same as we were here Friday night talking about this. Okay, I was going to look at something else and I can't think what it was. I can't remember what it was. All right, if you guys have any questions, any thoughts, any opinions, let me know. Let's get a poll out. I want to know your thoughts. Start a poll. Do you think this week will be bullish, bearish, or neutral? All right, start your vote. Start your vote. Let's see what you guys think. Green week has to be. Meme long-term hold. That's good. Yeah, definitely is. Oh, that was what I was going to look at. You're right. Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to look at. WPLS on Dex Screener. Dex Screener. There it is. I'm still temporary bullish. I mean, yeah, short-term optimism. That's kind of where I'm at right now. I wouldn't say I'm bullish. And if anything, if I had to pick one side or the other, I would probably lean more bearish right now. But yeah, right. Which one is it? STE Is it this? Liquidity 157k, or is it this? WPLS. Oh, look, liquid staked ETH on Pulse Chain. All right, let's take a look at it. I don't know anything about this. I'm dead center right now. My alerts are total at 3 and 1 and 3 and 3. There we go. There we go. Right. So what is this? This is ETH on the Pulse Chain. I mean, fair enough. I mean, the chart, what do you say? The chart was insane. Let's have a look. Daily. I mean, it's not the worst chart I've seen. I mean, fair enough. If you bought down here, then great. It's actually moving a little bit. I think this is, I mean, does this link directly back into the actual staking pool of Ethereum? No, I can't bring it up. I mean, yeah, I mean, look, if you got in at the bottom level, great. What's the volume doing? FDV is 2.7. Volume is what? 200k. So not the worst, I guess. Not the worst. Yeah, I guess it's okay. What's the price at? So it's at what? What's the market cap? 2.6 million. 2.6 million. Yeah, it's not horrendous. Not horrendous. Yeah, I mean, potentially as well. Potentially. But, I mean, you know, what is this 2024? So this rallied in November to 6 cents. Interesting. Soon, I think, Craig. They messaged me the other day. Craig, Alvin. I have actually got something else I want you to take a look at as well. I'll message you about it and get your thoughts on it. But yeah, they said, where is it? Atlantis. So yeah, they've got some new builds, recent release done, bunch ready to roll out over the next few weeks. So whether it launches the next few, I'm not sure, but they've got a lot of build outs done. I'll try and find out, but I'll send you across something else I want you to take a look at and see what you think as well. Pax the mascot OG character. Oh, we're going to have a look at that, weren't we? Yeah, I mean, look, I mean, either or. I'm not massively bothered about that, to be honest. It might, oh, what am I doing here? Pax. Now this one here, look. Is it this? Go Chili's! We looked at that, didn't we? Is it this one? Yeah, Pax. Oh, I saw people shilling this. I saw loads of people shilling this, actually. Yeah, that's why I never even looked at it, because the people shilling it, I was like, 300k market cap. Yeah, interesting. Interesting. Yeah, I'm not hating on it, by the way, but yeah, I saw loads of people shilling this, and that's why I was like, okay. Sold. A couple of big wallets here that are sold that never bought any tokens. I'm not saying that they were anything that they weren't, by the way. I'm not hating on it, by the way, but yeah. I mean, where's it at volume-wise right now? It's doing 100k volume. I mean, maybe it runs, maybe it doesn't. Some interesting. I mean, the bubble marks don't look horrendous, does it? It looks kind of all right, really. But yeah, I mean, what, 300k market cap? It is downtrending right now. Maybe it gets a bounce. Maybe. Yeah, it's kind of got a little bounce, but yeah. When Ripple stock XRP is what? Aspar Gallions when the 5th is, and the banks using XRP in 2019 are the liar. Mike, can you do a chart analysis on Sand, please? It would be nice to see it properly work by tier. Let's have a look. I don't even have Sand on here, actually. Sand. Let's bring it up. Let's bring it up. Here we go. Look, Sand. I mean, that move's insane, by the way. Look at that perfect rejection, though, off the 100-day EMA. Wild. Wild. Well, let's take a look at a macro level for Sand. Let's go to the weekly. So, definitely not in an ideal world. I mean, where is it at right now? If it breaks above this, it might actually run a little bit, you know. 15.2 would be the historic support line that you've got on this. So maybe it runs if it breaks that. Maybe. You can see there that we've definitely moved, and the retest lines as well on this. If you go, let's go a little bit more short term here on the daily. Let's see what we could potentially anticipate. Where was the last move there? Look. So yeah, rejected at 282 at 16.1. So you need to see a little bit further of a break, to be honest, to the upside to give a bit more momentum on that shorter term. Anyway, if you were to look at the, oops, I did not mean to do that. Oh, good. Yeah, Yeah, you want to see it break above that. I mean, you've got some key lines coming in right now. If it can get a breakout, the only thing I don't like is obviously it's retraced all the way back down here. But this white line is the key bit for me. Above 14.8, Craig. Well, 14.86, which it currently just is. You might get a little bit further of a move but to the upside. But a couple of key levels to break, I guess. 16.2 would be one. And then where else have you got it? I mean, this is probably your target here, isn't it? Above the 200 EMA at 20. Maths and tier with 2-bit. You know what it's about. You honestly think we're going to have alt season in 2026? I think I'm in this place, Johnny, where I'm like, right. At the minute, I'm more bearish than I am bullish. All right, so I'm definitely short-term bearish right now. Long-term bullish, short-term bearish. Why? Because everything at the moment is telling me that we haven't hit some of these key things I need to see in order to flip my sentiment to be more bullish. But if Bitcoin breaks out and we go back above 100K with a solid retest with volume, you would argue that new all-time highs are on the cards, right? Might not be straight away, but then 26 probably plays out to be a big year. Now, some of the big catalysts are going to come out: rate cuts, liquidity provisions, you know, all of this stuff. The big one will be the Trump will have to run this economy like on nitrous. Otherwise, he's going to lose the midterms. You can already see, we were looking at this. Let me see if I can say this. Images. Is it going to show me what I want to see? Maybe not. I saw it earlier on, and it basically it was a poll, and I know it's difficult to kind of, you know, you can't put everything on it, but the poll was basically showing Trump losing the House, right? So in essence, he has to run the one thing I think that will make the biggest impact, and that is run the economy hot, run it super hot, make sure everyone feels like they've got loads of money. Make sure everyone feels like they're way more optimistic in this market. And like everyone's like, oh my God, it's all down to Trump and the tariffs and blah, blah, blah. Here we go. Look, so, that's 2018. Come on, bro. So I think that for me then, if he runs the economy hot, definitely could drive liquidity into this market, which in theory pumps Bitcoin and then in theory pumps the altcoin market as well. So yeah, we'll see. How are we going to know? Well, you'll get a little bit this week. So you're going to get GDP, you're going to get PCE. All those things will tell us what the view or the sentiment is for Trump and his economy policy. But he is going to run this economy like you wouldn't believe it. Like, yeah, he's going to run it as hot as he possibly can. But yeah, I did see a poll, but I can't find it. Opinions on why hype randomly nosedives while the rest of the market is chilling. The only thing I can think of, didn't they send loads of money to Zach XBT? Didn't they send him something like 200 grand or something? Or was it 25 grand? I can't remember. They sent him a massive wallet of hype coins though, didn't they? Maybe he's dumped it all at once. Maybe he dumped it all. Looking at the new treasury building getting built in Darlington, gearing up for something big. Nice. New treasury building getting built in Darlington. That sounds bullish. Yeah, I can't find this poll. The poll basically said that the Democrats, it's back in the Democrats will win the House back, which means nothing will get through. And if anything, they could impeach Trump. I mean, I don't know what that means and what that would do to the markets personally, but you know, we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, he's going to run the economy super, super hot. He's going to run it with, like, think about this as well. He gets Kevin washed in there. They're going to dump interest rates like you wouldn't believe. Like we could be at 1% interest rate by midterms. Imagine what that's going to feel like to you as a US citizen. You're going to be like, oh my God, like gas is going down, eggs are going down, bloody interest rates are through the floor. Like look at what he's doing with mortgage, like $200 billion of mortgage debt bought back up. Like what? There was a thing that was like a plan to try and drive this. I can't find where it is though. It's going to be great job growth. Well, and that's the thing. If ADP comes in and it's good, then man, you're going to get a super hot economy that's going to get a massive rate cut. It's going to be wild. November, Gary. Yeah, they're in November. Why is the market not dumping off the tariff news? Because I don't think people care anymore. I talked about this in my video. I actually don't think people care. And it's almost the most insane thing in the world that it's a bit like, is it really going to go ahead? So I generally just don't think people care anymore. They're like, whatever. Tariffs, right? We've been through that. We've been through worse. You think about it, it's a 10% tariff on 8 European Union countries that starts on February 1st. Is it going to leverage bloody Greenland? Probably not. My opinion. Trump would say XRP, but he would say a little bit, yeah, that's true. It used to be my favorite coin to long. I guess I like the dumb of the weekend. It's not going to be great with job growth and domestic production. What's that for? On hype. Yeah, isn't it 6 months away to enact? What's that? They're like Trump's stimulus plan. I'm not sure. Altcoins. I mean, I hope so. I'd like to see altcoins going to the freaking moon. I'm way more exposed to altcoins than I am to any sort of Bitcoin position. Way more. No, February the 1st they're coming. Yeah, February the 1st. I mean, the Supreme Court's another one, isn't it? Like, Supreme Court are just like, I tweeted about this earlier on that said, do you honestly think the Supreme Court's going to rule against tariffs when literally they should have ruled twice already and Trump's just slapped another 10% on some EU countries? Like, that should tell you everything you need to know. Like, I don't believe they wrote on them. And I saw some people finally like, oh, we don't think that the Supreme Court will Someone posted, I actually couldn't help myself. Someone posted something on there going, oh, World Limit Financial just bought $2 billion of XRP. Like, doesn't even show on an EVM blockchain, you silly choppers. Where is it? We actually have the World Limit Financial wallet. There is. Yeah, so I think the tariff thing is just the tariff thing. I just think he's probably stepped a little bit too far with the Greenland thing. In my opinion, by the way, I just think it's a step too far. And probably doesn't then end up working out that favorably. Just my opinion. And again, I might be totally wrong. Who knows? What is the big issue? Is there pretty much the whole generation TGST doesn't want to work, which actually would fit in with mass AI integration? Well, I mean, the AI narrative is going to be a pretty interesting one as well, because it'll make companies way more profitable, but it will cause job losses. Actually, super hot. Damn, what's that for? Trump likes Jasmy. Jasmy. We haven't looked at Jasmy, actually. Let's take a look at Jasmy. Where is it at right now? It was holding up all right, I think, when I last looked at it. Jasmy, yeah, negative 1.2. Still just below this trend line. And, oh, come on, Jazzers. We might be, if we can get back above this line, 8.2, we need to see it back above. It is bearish, though, so we do need to be mindful of this, because it might be setting off into a descending triangle, which we don't need. We don't need on Jasmy. We need Jasmy to break out. I mean, it's just consolidating right now, but hopefully we get a breakout. Ow. That's what happens when you play with a peg, people. Don't play with a peg when you're trying to live stream. Get out of here, peg. Twanged on my flipping finger. Ow. Anyway. I'm not sure saying the AI will be profitable. Well, it will be profitable in the sentiment that it will just remove loads of elements from a business, won't it? Think about like HR functions. If you could automate everything through an HR chatbot, then why do you need an HR? That'd be the thing. Don't forget, by the way, if you haven't already hit the like button or hit the subscribe button, definitely consider doing so. Likewise, TikTok, give us a little tap. We appreciate it. Hit the follow button. We do post content every single day, as well as our Discord, so definitely get involved in that. Nice one, Tomato Pete. And definitely worthwhile. Like I said, join the best community out there. Highly recommend it. It's 100% worth your time. Over, 250 people in our Discord. It's still a little bit quiet. We'd like to definitely see a little bit more consensus, a bit more chatty. But look, at the same time, it's absolutely super bullish. So get involved as well. And 120 people here in the live stream as well. So shout out to you guys. Smash the like button to brand new all-time high. We appreciate you, as I do you guys on TikTok. We've probably got about 10 minutes left of the stream, and then we're out of here. And let's see where we get to. So let's bring up Bloomberg, see if anything's going on here. We might see that. By the way, the home screen or the home button on Google Chrome is still showing as a reload this page button. Strange. All right. So, yeah, look at this. BlackRock's Rick Ryder bid for Fed chair is gaining traction. No way, bro. No way is Rick Ryder going to end up being Fed chair. It's going to be Kevin Warsh. Let's have a look. It's optimistic that AI isn't so destructive. Yeah, I think so. I don't think AI is going to be good. Oh, it actually is. Oh my God. Yeah, Rick Ryder is at 20% on Polymarket. Wow. He has come out of nowhere. I mean, that would be wild, in fairness. I mean, Kevin Hassett, 7%. I still don't think I still don't think I'd write Kevin Hassett off, by the way. I definitely just don't think I'd write him off. But yeah, Kevin Warshed, 55%. Rick Ryder, 19%. Pretty interesting there. Pretty interesting. Wall Street gives Trump the all clear to push disruptive agenda. Of course they do. Japan says agreement with the US OK's intervention for rapid moves. All right. All right. I mean, I saw something about the Suez Canal being back open again the other day, which is interesting. But this Iran thing, I mean, are we going to get an Iran strike tonight? People don't like Kevin. Yeah, Kevin Warshed is not good, I believe. I don't know too much about it, but yeah, I don't think he's particularly great for... I think the challenge is in a crisis. Was he in the Fed in the like financial crisis of 2000 and whatever it was? I think, which is why I think people think he might not be great. But yeah, interesting. Yeah, the Iran thing feels a bit tasty as well, doesn't it? You seen delivery bits going rogue in China? No, sounds wild. It's taking over the world. Gotta be careful. Gotta be careful. Right. Anything else going on here? Doesn't look like it. All right, nothing super crazy. Reform UK reveals defection of second Conservative in a Pete. Yeah, I saw that. Trump tariffs, Brazil billionaire. You know. I mean, I saw that the Venezuela oil thing, like the companies Trump was hoping to get across there, have like gone. We don't know if we're going to go to Venezuela right now. We're sort of all right. Done. Okay, cool. China rare earth product exports fall. That's interesting. All right, not a lot here. Let's take a quick look at the markets on the pre-markets. So the Nikkei down 0.32, the Hang Seng down 0.29. So markets actually are looking a little bit bearish on market opens. Let's have a look at commodities just out of interest to see what they're doing. What are we looking at? So the expectation, man, commodities look down, bro. What the heck? Yeah, commodities look pretty tasty, actually. Energy looks like it's going to go up. No surprise. Precious metals down. Agricultural down. So commodities look a little bit tasty, don't they? Alrighty. And the currency markets look like they're going to be down as well. So we'll see. The Russell, though. Look at the Russell 2000. Oh, my God. It's at 0.1. Could be a good indicator of where the risk on assets is going to go for the markets. Russell goes up. Wow. What's Bitcoin at right now? Just under 3. Yeah, 95.4. Looks like we're trying. It'd be nice to get to that 95.5. That'd be bullish. Let's get to 95.5 BTC. Come on, bro. You can do it. The lithium fires will be televised. What? Husky Tom, yo, definitely late today. What's going on, buddy? Welcome in, pal. Good to see you, man. Trump definitely super multitasking Greenlandic route. Yeah, it's wild, isn't it, Tim? It is wild, in fairness. I know it's all BS. They can't make a reliable toffee hammer these days. Oh, dear me. We've got some breaking news coming in right now, everybody. Breaking news. This is for Tomato Pete. All right, Tomato Pete, strap in. Breaking news right now. All righty, let's get it. Let's bring it up. You're going to love this, I reckon. It's just flashed up on my screen. I turned my notifications on so I could see it. But here we go. Breaking news, everybody. Breaking news. It is. Oh, what is it? What is the breaking news? The breaking news is China's CBDC project McBridge, or Mbridge, not McBridge. McBridge would be weird. Has already pushed 555 billion to cross-border payments. Oh no, China's coming for Ripple as well. Oh, we're going to zero. Anyway, right. All right, good. Look, the Russell's up. Bullish on the Russell, everybody. Bullish on the Russell. There you go. CBDC in China. Epic. I feel like 96k gets tapped just because the short squeeze should come. Yeah, maybe. Needs to kind of crack on a little bit. I mean, we'll see what happens when Asia opens in literally 2 hours. Again, we want to see that weekly close. That's what we're about. That weekly close, ideally above 95.5. The yen, I mean, it's after hours, but 686 up marginally, Craig. Up marginally. So, yeah, we'll see. We will see. All right. Welcome in, everybody, on TikTok. Thank you for tuning in. Don't forget, I live stream 4 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. UK time. If you're interested, definitely get involved with us. Fairground says, sorry, mate, internet's buffering like mad. No dramas, mate. Appreciate you being here. For sure. Thanks to... that has more meaning than anything else, Tomato Pete. That has more meaning. Thanks to you, mate. I can literally see, I can hear you saying it. I'm there going, breaking news. And you're like, yeah, thanks. Thanks. Great breaking news, bro. Great breaking news. All right. Do it as the flare chart, follow the XRP chart. I don't think so. But just for you, I think we can bring it up. Let's have a look. Flare. Let's see. I mean, not really. Not really. It's kind of there, but not really. Which, I mean, is fine, isn't it? What color should we have? Orange? Pink. There we go. Yeah. I mean, kind of. I mean, it's interesting, these spikes, isn't it? These spikes seem to correlate with dips in the XRP price. But yeah, I mean, not super correlated. What am I expecting price to be like tomorrow? So I still think that we get a dump in the market. And if we get a dump in the market, that proves my theory that the Sunday pumps have all been sailor pumps. And then that means the Monday dump is literally dumping into the sailor pump. Does that make sense? So he's allegedly going to buy over $1 billion of Bitcoin again, which could tell us that that we're going to do that. Now, what could mean that we don't see that dump? I don't know, but so I think we're going to dump, right? I don't think it's going to be crazy, but I could see us pumping towards the end of the day. So I could see us breaking 95.5, 95.6, 95.7. And then I think we probably consolidate. And I think as European markets open, the Hang Seng opens and Shanghai opens, I could think we could see a dump in the market. Because I think Saylor will push the price of BTC. And if he does, then that is what we need to be mindful of. Essentially, you could be setting yourself up for a short trade on a Saylor pump. Again, if you know what you're doing with trading, by all means, crack on. If you don't, then please be mindful, because trading these markets, you could lose freaking everything. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I think we don't know what the market's going to react like when they open with all this Trump tariff stuff. But the fact there's been a load of opposition to it probably tells us that it's less likely to go ahead. And I think what we need to hear is sentiment within the Republican Party, because if that's the case, then, you know, we might certainly feel a little bit more comfortable with it. But time will tell, I guess. Wayne, what's going on? Looks like... RW just deleted it. I couldn't see it. So don't long both at the same time. I mean... probably not, yeah. Probably not. Don't forget as well, with FXRP, they remove 1 XRP for every FXRP they make. So it's great. It sounds like Japan are making the most of the US market being closed to pump their currency. I think Japan... Don't forget, Japan are just trying to pump their currency. They are just trying to pump their currency. They need to try and get yields moving. They need to try and get... you know, their economy rocking and rolling. Their economy is dreadful. Like, even, I mean, you think about it. What's the BOJ interest rate right now? Anyone know? BOC. I don't want BOC. I want BOJ. I want BOJ. What is it at? So December bank policy rate was 25 at 0.76. So it's currently yeah. So their December is 0.75. Think about that. Think about how insane that is. 0.75% is their interest rate. Honestly, I'm paying about 5% on my mortgage here. Like, what? You get more USDC. Look like amendments being made to the Clarity Act. We're getting closer. Yeah, I think so. I think so. The more I looked into it, by the way, the more that you're like, yeah, fair play. Fair play. Quite a bit in there that's not great. And it's interesting, isn't it, that Trump's like, well, you better get involved or we're going to yeet it out the door. Interesting. Interesting. The banks. Big scams. Just in my opinion, like I said, you do what you want with your own money. You think we see alt season, buddy? Again, Zach, my opinion of that is dependent on where we think this market's going to go. And I think it's still a bit of a 50-50. As much as people may say, well, too bad, I can't believe you're not bullish enough on the market. Like, until we hit $99,000, $100,000, break it with volume support, I'm bearish-ish. I'm bearish-ish. I'm always going to be a half full rather than half empty, but yeah, it's hard to be like, oh, I mean, some people are just like, go to the fucking moon. What are you on about? You should be 100% in, like 5 million % X leverage. Like, still need to see some big things move. The silver and the gold thing tells me that people are still going at that. The stock market rallying. Don't forget the S&P broke 7,000 on Friday. It tells me people are still going into traditional markets. All right, traditional markets. Are you in a loss? Do you mean like my overall portfolio? Because don't forget, I went 50% into stablecoin at 108,000. So I took some stablecoin off the table. I took some profits off the table at 108. So no is the answer to that. If the debate is, am I at a loss from all-time highs? Yes. And did I get my full potential? No. But I was very fortunate in that some of my bigger positions were in coins that we bought at the absolute bottom of the market. Solana, we were buying at $8, Ethereum at 800, XRP at 35 cents. You know, we were buying all those sorts of things when everyone was freaking out about FTX going to zero and completely crashing the market, we were buying Solana like it's going out of fashion. So I'm down 80%. What coins did you buy, if you don't mind me asking? Trade at 110 gets a little bullish. Look, at 103, 104, like I'm pretty bullish at that point. Again, we break 100,000. I'm like, all right, cool. It could be tasty. Could be tasty. So again, if you look at, we talked about this before. I bought last year before October. So literally going into Pico Peak. We sort of gave some ideas as what was good news, what was good catalyst, what was bad catalyst. So, I mean, there is definitely a lot to be said for optimistic views of the market. There is loads of potential that's going to come. Whether it does or not is the bigger debate, isn't it? I mean, if you look at, just really quickly before we get out of here, if you look at not this actually, this is what I look at. I saw my BTC at 97k in 2024 and went into alts and trading it, and I did not get what. Yeah, same, Fat Sonic. Although I didn't sell Bitcoin, I just was buying altcoin. You know, Q1 historically now 8.68% is pretty good news. We also get Q1 on Ethereum having a pretty good rally as well. And actually, when you look at this so far, from a monthly and a weekly, albeit the first week was pretty pants, you know, if we see another good week this week, and in theory, you know, months play out, February should be bullish and March should be bullish. You know, we could easily, you could argue that by, you know, April, we could be testing new all-time highs if stuff goes. What's the reason the market's dump? That's what you got to ask yourself. New York stock market will be closed this Monday, so we could see the pump a little longer before the dump. Maybe, Dina. Yeah, maybe. Definitely possible. Definitely possible. It will all depend on what the Asian markets do, and if they are nervous, or the EU. Don't forget the EU markets might freak out because of tariffs. Maybe. But so far, Bitcoin futures are positive. So Bitcoin futures are signaling that we're going to get a little bit more upside. But yeah, exactly, Tim. You know, if like we get the whole tariff thing comes back, IEEPA tariff gets rolled back, I don't know, the Iran thing doesn't go very well, like, yeah, we could easily see some real nervousness in this market, and it could all come crashing down pretty quickly. But exactly, the markets do what they want, or the big money does their own. I mean, look, BTC is trying to push right now. 95,437, a little bit of upside momentum coming in right now. The key is going to be a break above about 95.5, which in my opinion, you know, could start to signal some big moves coming up. And certainly we start to see a bit of a further push. So anyway, we will see how all that plays out. Fingers crossed. All right. Fingers crossed. Okay. You guys think we've got for a bullish week? Shout out. Do you like Ondo project for longer term site? Yes, I own Ondo. We're in it in the investment group. So yeah. In my opinion, 96 gets tapped. Let's hope so. I mean, let's see. We're bullish. ETH's up 1%, which is a nice little move on ETH, by the way. Some of you are asking about Zebek. It's up 6%. So some nice little movers out there. And yeah, certainly feeling a bit more bullish as to where we get to. All right, everybody. That does bring us to the end of the stream. We've been live about an hour and a half. Don't forget, every day we're breaking these markets down, bringing you the best and latest things in the crypto markets. All you need to do is hit that like and subscribe button. And also don't forget, turn the notification bell on to all. That way you're notified on our latest live streams, our latest updates, everything else. And join the Discord. It's totally free. And Overtaker says he's shorting. Bullish on that. Likewise on TikTok, by the way. Jump in the Discord. Link in my bio. Again, you're going to get links in there as well to all our exchange partners, as well as our premium Discord if you want access to that. 2 bots. Great community, trade setups, all what you need. $6 a month. It's an absolute steal right now. Get it before it goes up in price. That's what I would say. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. Catch you guys back here tomorrow. So for some more crypto news, hit the like and subscribe button. I'm sorry. See you later.